Joining me now with more on what she's uncovered about the company Dominion, One American News' Chanel Rion joining me from D.C. Chanel, okay, so let's get to it here real quick. Dominion is a software company. We know that there is this whistleblower now that went undercover trying to infiltrate Antifa. He learns about this Dr. Coomer who's got ties to Dominion and says there might be a good old insurance policy with the software. Is that kind of the basic of what you've uncovered so far? Fill us in.
That's right, Dan. Well, what's interesting is that this whistleblower, as you framed him, was not actually aiming to find information about Dominion to begin with. This is a call he infiltrated into Antifa back in September. And the bottom line is you'll be able to see some incredible things that were said on this call based on this individual, Eric Coomer. He's not just some coffee boy who worked at Dominion. This is a guy, Eric Coomer is a shareholder at Dominion Voting Systems. He is a partial owner of Dominion Systems. So this isn't some insignificant figure at Dominion. So there's not point number one I want to highlight for you if you listen to some of these sound bites and you listen to what he said. But you just hit something very important, insurance policy. On the phone call, Coomer tells his fellow Antifa members, listen, take a listen to what Eric Coomer allegedly says, according to our friend here, Joe Altman. Joe, you infiltrated an Antifa conference call this past September and accidentally came upon a top Dominion Voting Systems executive named Eric Coomer. Describe that call and what it led you to find.
It was interesting how the call started. Somebody says, "Who's Eric?" He says, "Eric is a Dominion guy." Someone actually said, "Hey, go ahead." I told him to continue speaking. And someone interrupts and says, "What are we going to do if effing Trump wins?" And Eric responds, and I'm paraphrasing this, by the way, "Don't worry about the election. Trump is not going to win. I made effing sure of that." And then they started laughing, and somebody says, "Effing right." At that point, I thought to myself, this guy's crazy. These people are crazy because they think that they are, Jedi warriors and they can just will themselves to Trump not winning. But I did do research on Eric, and so I just put a simple Google search to start, which was Eric Dominion, Denver, Colorado. And Eric Coomer came up immediately under Dominion Voting Systems. And when I got access to his Facebook, you get that sinking feeling like this is crazy. Here's a director of of strategy and security at Dominion. And when I got into his Facebook page, that's when things really started to kind of come together for me that Eric Coomer was this, that he was not just Antifa, he was responsible for putting his finger on the scales of our election.
All right, so Chanel, from what I'm hearing from this guy, that is Joe Altman. That's the gentleman you interviewed today. He's the one that was kind of going undercover just to expose Antifa, and he stumbled across the connection of this, I think he calls himself a doctor, Dr. Eric Coomer, who is tied directly and is a big high up at Dominion. I know you've got more on this and you've got to run to finish this special up. When are we going to see more here on One America News with your interview and what you've uncovered about Dominion?
Dan, you can see more of that interview and interviews from Giuliani and Sidney Powell as well. This weekend, 10 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday, Dominionizing the Vote. We break down everything that we could find in the last few days. It's astounding, Dan. All
right, Chanel, I want you back on the show this week, if you will, with more sound bites from that guy and anybody else in the investigation. We have got to keep the pressure on and keep exposing what has happened with the Dominion voting system, because I think this is going to be the key to the election fraud big picture. Our own Chanel Rion in D.C. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Straight ahead, she's been a close advisor to the president and connected very well in the Trump inner circle. Our special guest, Kimberly Guilfoyle, joins the show. Don't go away.